Quentin Tarantino, with 2 Academy Awards and a ton of memorable quotes to his name, is one of the best writers in the business. There aren't many actors who'd pass up the chance to wrap their teeth around his razor-sharp dialogue, but for those who have, it looks like the ship might have sailed, with only one film left before Tarantino retires. It's one thing to turn down Tarantino once, but Sylvester Stallone did it twice, a decade apart. He was originally up for a role in Jackie Brown, which went to Robert De Niro, and was also Tarantino's first pick to lead Death Proof. Saying no to both was a bold move, especially since Jackie Brown dropped the same year as Stallone's praised performance in Copland. If he'd taken both roles, maybe that serious, dramatic reinvention could have happened, but it didn't. Instead, Stallone stuck to his action roots, and while Kurt Russell's turn in Death Proof was iconic, imagining Rocky or Rambo in that maniacal role would have been something else entirely. Nearly 20 years after missing out on Reservoir Dogs, Viggo Mortensen was in the running for a role in The Hateful Eight, but scheduling conflicts got in the way. The Lord of the Rings star told The Hollywood Reporter that working with Tarantino would have been really fun, but it just wasn't meant to be. While there's no word on what role he was up for, Mortensen's range means he could have nailed pretty much any part. The Hateful Eight was filled with Tarantino veterans like Tim Roth, Bruce Dern, Samuel L. Jackson, Kurt Russell, and Michael Madsen, but some new blood would have given it an additionally unpredictable shot in the arm. Adam Sandler has been a close friend of Quentin Tarantino for years, and the role of Donnie Donowitz in Inglourious Basterds was written specifically for him. But in a classic case of bad timing, Sandler couldn't commit, leaving him still waiting for his shot at a Tarantino film to show off his acting chops beyond his usual comedy routine. Eli Roth stepped in, but it would be fair to say his performance didn't exactly shine. Given Sandler's proven dramatic skills in recent years, it's hard not to wonder how one of the weakest characters in Inglourious Basterds could have been one of the best if Sandler had taken the role that was tailor-made for him. One of the most famous what-ifs of Tarantino's filmography came when Will Smith passed on the title role in Django Unchained, with the former Fresh Prince citing the slavery angle as one of the reasons why he passed. Ironically, after Jamie Foxx embodied the charismatic gunslinger instead, Smith would go on to make a much lesser film on the same subject that a vastly smaller number of people saw when he teamed with Antoine Fuqua on Emancipation. Smith has always struggled to strike the perfect balance between his undeniable star wattage and the determination to prove himself as a dramatic force, and Django Unchained would have been the ideal vehicle to give him, and audiences, the best of both worlds if he wasn't so reluctant. Jennifer Lawrence was the front-runner for the role of Daisy in The Hateful Eight, with Tarantino being a big fan of her work. When she couldn't clear her schedule, the part went to Jennifer Jason Leigh, who's almost 30 years older and snagged an Oscar nomination for her performance. It's easy to picture Lawrence as Sharon Tate in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too, but by the time the script was wrapping up, Margot Robbie had already caught Tarantino's eye for the role. They've almost worked together a few times, but unless she lands a part in his final film, Lawrence might end up regretting missing her shot at a Tarantino collaboration.